I heard someone ask, how could the people in Africa let themselves be taken and controlled? Why didn't they fight back? My thoughts about this are all over the place, but mainly I think about the time, the era, the access, and the intent their captors had. The reality is this: Africans fought back from the very beginning. Many were not captured peacefully. Villages were attacked, people were kidnapped, betrayed, or taken during wars fueled by European demand for human beings. Families were separated in moments. Captives were forced to march hundreds of miles to coastal forts and prisons. By the time many reached slave ships, they had already survived unimaginable violence, and still, they resisted. Imagine you live in a place where, although there may be a hierarchy and some people may have bad intentions, it's your home. Your traditions, your rituals, your beliefs, your culture deals with distrust within its own borders, but it is still yours. Then someone comes along purporting to be friendly, only to reveal later they were scoping out strategy. Add the language barrier, superior weapons, and direct threats to your family, and the whole story becomes something unimaginable. Now think about the actual voyage: months without proper nutrition, urinating and defecating in place, vomiting, nothing to clean it up, nothing to clean you up, death and disease lying next to you, heavy chains keeping you immobile, wondering where you are going or if you will ever return home, being whipped for looking a white man in the eye. You are told to remain quiet and ride it out. Those who survived were herded, still in chains, to their so-called new homes, plantations, and whipped into submission. Fathers were deliberately taken to plantations hundreds of miles away to destroy any chance of family protection. Women were raped. Men were raped as well, as a means to emasculate and break them, while other enslaved people were forced to watch as a warning that they had no power. They were forbidden to speak their native languages. They were forbidden to use their given names. They were not legally allowed to marry. They worked under the whip from sunup to sundown without rest or compensation. Enslaved men were forced to raise children fathered by the men who owned them, children who stood as a daily reminder of their powerlessness. Families were sold off without notice or remorse, never to be heard from again. With no medical assistance available, they relied on knowledge carried from the motherland to survive. Enslavers also worked to divide the cohesiveness of their cultures by separating them by skin tone. Lighter-skinned enslaved people, born primarily to enslavers who never claimed them, were often given access to work inside the main house, while darker-skinned enslaved people remained in the fields. This calculated division planted the seeds of colorism that still exist within the African American community today. Christianity, as Europeans deemed the one true religion, replaced every other form of worship and became the only accepted way to pray. And yet they resisted, in every way they could, in secret languages, in music, in rebellion, in escape. So back to my original question: how could the people in Africa let themselves be taken and controlled? Why didn't they fight back? The real question is, how did they survive? The story of enslavement proves that our people are among the strongest, both mentally and physically. A spirituality and resilience carried through generations, sustained by faith and oral history, and a culture that refused to be completely extinguished, no matter what was done to silence it. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and comment. I really love hearing your perspectives.